Okay, can you hear us, Jeet?
Yes, yes. Hello.
Okay, all right, Jeet, the time has come for you to
Yes, yes. I
talk
know.
to us.
I was.
So I'm just going to give a quick introduction. So I had the privilege of meeting Jeet when I was traveling through India. We met on Prem Singh's farm, and at the time, Jeet was a student and very knowledgeable in natural farming techniques. I know he taught me a lot while I was there, and I thought it would be great to have Jeet involved in this year's permaculture convergence. So we're just thrilled to have you here today, Jeet, and excited to hear from you.
Thank you so much. Uh, so my intro is you. So I'm starting our farming methods and some intro. So I'm Jeet from India, and I graduate mass communication, 1 year job, then resign and come back my village. So my father did not want I become a farmer, but I decide and become farmer. So I'm Mr. Prem Singh farm, and my now 2 years, last 2 years in farm, and last 2 years we gain knowledge. So farming is not only cultivated and harvesting. It's a way of sustainable livelihood. It's a way of eco-balance. It's a way of sustainable farming and many methods of uh, all ecosystem. You know, our farming methods, it's Awartansheel farming. Awartansheel farming, uh, Awartansheel farming means a cyclic process, natural farming. It's a process of natural farming. So then now I'm last 2 years. So this time I'm hello.
Yep, we hear you.
So sorry, and sorry now and this time training training. So sometimes go trainings and work with farmers and agriculture techniques and natural techniques of nutrition management and pest management and all management of farming. So this time training and training courses and many parts of India. So our experience. So so Awartansheel Kheti is that it's a 5-step farming. No? 5-step farming. First step, your plot dividing by 3 parts. Okay. So first step, 1 part of plot is a fulfill of gardening, means fruit and timber plants. Second part, your cow shed and grazing. And third part, all compost full, uh, your food products, vegetables, millets. This is third part. And fourth part, all products is surplus of your family demand, your family demand surplus, then processing him, because we cannot good price raw materials. So processing is very important part of farming. Now, if when I do processing, some employment is generation. And fifth part, whenever comes your income, some part of income expend our poor families of poor peoples who with our poor neighbors spend him lifestyle. So fifth is because kheti farming is not is not individualism, is social work. It's society work. So farming is a process of society, social connectivity. It's not individual. Uh, so it's social connectivity. So it's 5 step completed in Awartansheel farming. So my friend.
Sorry, he's a bit nervous. Huh? Can I help him to make you
Absolutely, yes.
understand?
More the merrier.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So yeah, he's a bit nervous here.
He's
So
doing great.
sorry for that. Yeah. So basically, we work on this concept of Awartansheel farming, where we are trying to get the solution of all, get the solutions in our society, like unemployment, the nature is, get the weather is destroying it, like not enough oxygen and all. So we try to come up with a solution which actually solve all our problems, like when you do monocropping, how it affects the land. And so Mr. Prem Singh, where we are staying on this farm, he come up with this idea that we should divide our land into 3 parts. So because there is humans on this world, animals are there and plants are there. So because it's everyone is helping each other to being in this existence. So he kind of come up with this idea that we should divide our land into 3 parts and do farming in this way. Like one part we should totally dedicate it to for the animals, cow shed, goats, or whatever. And you should decide your amount, numbers of animals according to your farmland, like how much animals can sustain on that land, like for their food, how much you can generate from that land. If you keep more than that, it is also become a problem after a while. So you should according to that decide how much animals you want or others. And at the same time you should plant trees and fruit trees, like from where you get the fruits, or and like wood and all different things, so they can fix the oxygen and different things as well, like carbon in the soil. Because of trees you get enough manure as well from the animals. You can get the manure, so it's more independently, you can do the farming more independently instead of becoming more dependent on the market. Like when you bring so many things from the market, it's very difficult for you to survive in this way. So and trees, when you grow trees and fruit trees, its production is like more than this, like 10 times more than the cereals or whatever crop you are doing in your field. And 1/3 part should be dedicated to for your like needs, like vegetables, cereals, millets, and wheats, paddy, and all the like species. You should design your farm in a way where you can like make out most of your living out of it by yourself, instead of depending on the market. And it should be interdependent on each other. Like if you have a pond, there is like fishes can eat the cow dung, and it's a really good food for the fishes. Like if you throw, like, cow dung is coming from the animals and you're giving food to fishes, then from the same water, like from the pond, you can also like it is more the water is more full of nutrients if you use that water. So it's kind of cycle, and you can enrich, like in every step you are enriching the next part of it. Like when they are eating the grass from the land, and it is becoming more full of nutrient, the soil. And the fifth, another part which he included in this method is that first thing, you should do farming for yourself, like for your family and for the people around you, like for socially to help others. And even after that, there is some produce still left, then you should process it. So the life of the your produce become longer, like it can stay longer, so and you can get good price from it. So even if it's in a small amount, you can get good price out of it. So processing is also a really good, like a needful step in Awartansheel farming. Like 4 steps are these, and 5th one is like you have to work for the social justice, for the poor, for needy who is around you. I was not prepared, whatever I till now I could understand. I give a I couldn't present it like that, but yeah, I think I'm done. I couldn't say anything else about it.
Yeah. So could I ask you some questions, Jeet, about some
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
Yes,
processing you do on Prem Singh's farm? Because I was able to visit you and witness some of that. So I think, would you include in that processing the harvesting of the amlas that fell on the ground and what you did with that? So Jeet, could you maybe tell us a little bit about what you
yes,
did with the amlas on Prem Singh's farm?
yes, yes. Amla pickles and murabba. You know murabba? And amla candy, some prash, and amla halwa, just like amla processing. And mango pickle, chili pickle, ginger pickle, garlic pickle, some dalia, pulses, and chickpea processing, just like in the Hindi besan, you know, and many things of processing.
So
And then,
usually, like you with the avla, you use honey and all, and you
Yes.
come out with a product. We call it murabba,
Murabba.
and it's a very sweet thing, but it's really good for in diabetes and all.
And it's a
And
very medicinal value.
yeah, it's
It's
good for.
good for health, because amla, the 5 important plants of earth.
And how it changes your produce value, like when you sell raw amla, it's like 20 rupees kg in India, but when you process it, it goes like 250 rupees
wow.
kg,
Per kg, yes,
per kg.
yes, yes.
So it's like multiplied by 20 times. Like, of course, you need some you need man force for it and need other things as well, but it's like just value adding few things, like 50 rupees you add it into it, like all, and that's how you are making employment as well, like you are creating employment around you, and you can give.
And you are become after processing, you become owner of our product. Then otherwise your raw material you are not owner of your raw materials. Market decide your market decide price your product. You cannot decide our price, but after processing you can decide our price. You can generation employment generation, you can value addition, and give more value added product.
Those are very good points, and yeah, that's great to hear. I also wanted to go back to that idea of farming as social work and social connectivity, because I thought that was a really nice point you were bringing up. And I remember while I was visiting
Yeah.
the farm, you were involved in some educational activities outside the farm, and I think one of them happened at the jail in town, if I'm correct, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
Would you be willing to
So,
maybe
uh,
talk to
uh,
us a little bit about that?
Jeet. Yes, yes, yes. So, yeah, jail projects is a very good project because all jail. So, partners depend. Produce organic vegetables. Prisoners growing organic vegetables after effort of our team, and then making manuring and making composting, many types of composting, just like Shivan's workly compost and some native and some indoor methods. So very learn prisoners very methods of manuring. Then last time I'm going to 2 months ago. So all vegetables is developing, growing organic. So prisoners and the jailer is very happy.
Right. To clarify,
And
the food being grown was
and
for the
some part of
prisoners, right,
India,
Jeet?
you sorry.
I said the food being grown by the prisoners in that work on site, they weren't going somewhere else, it was on the prison grounds. They were putting in that work to grow the fresh food for themselves. Is that correct, Jeet?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes, yes, yes. And after I'm going, we are going Bhadohi, when you are going Banaras Kasi. So I stay in Bhadohi, So we are going many places of India and teaches designing of farm. Our concept designing of farm, uh, which plant growing any different environmental and
Could I ask you another question, Jeet?
yes.
So
So
would you say back in your village, are a lot of the farmers in your area using these methods, or are they not using these types of methods that you've outlined for us?
uh, uh, 20 20% people, 20% farmer used this methods. Last time, more farmers came here in Premsing farm and learn many methods of farming, many methods of composting, and all concept of farming. Yes, and our in same village, other all country people came here and learn this concept of farming. So natural farming and concept just like, and I think this is not concept of farming. This is concept of living concept. Sustainable livelihood concept. It's my. So many people and this time many people came around all over India. So and a training program is running on tomorrow.
Very cool. So you would say these methods are growing. More and more farmers are
Yes,
embracing these methods. Okay.
yes.
Very cool. I almost think there's a similar thing happening here in the States where farmers are exploring more productive, natural, regenerative techniques. But it almost seems like these techniques are what originally existed. They were the traditional forms of farming. Would you say that the traditional farming methods of India are similar to these methods and that they changed from the industrial agriculture, but you're now coming back to more of those traditional methods?
Yes. Now, yes, in the now this time India comes our traditional methods of farming, it's because last 40 to 50 years, the farming method is destroyed. So after Green Revolution, then farming concept is changed. Farmer growing only markets, not our family, not our kitchen demand. But now, last 5 years, many more farmers come back to our traditional methods of farming and traditional methods of living, traditional methods of social connectivity come back.
Excellent. We just had a commenter who, Becca, who's in Rishikesh right now, and she says she's not seeing a lot of organic farming in Rishikesh. So maybe that's another place you can go visit, Jeet, and spread some of this wonderful farming knowledge.
In Rishikesh.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm trying my little best.
You're doing great, Jeet.
Visit Rishikesh. Okay.
So I think we have approximately 9 minutes left. So I wanted to open the floor and see if anyone attending wants to either speak up and ask questions to Jeet or type in the box, and I will gladly ask those questions for you if you would prefer that. But, you know, anyone's welcome to ask any questions they may have for Jeet and his experience of learning natural farming in India.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay. We'll see if anyone has anything to say. It's great to see your face, Jeet. I think this is the first time I'm video calling you since India. And soon we'll be doing video calls of our farms, right? Okay.
I have a question.
Oh, we
Sorry.
got someone.
Norm, go ahead.
Yes. But you can stop spraying.
We got a question from Norm.
Yes.
You wanna,
No, it's not government supportive. It's individual our farm, not government supported.
Individual effort.
It's individual effort.
So Brent has a question. So we're going to open the table. Go ahead, Brent.
I was in India a few years ago, and there was a problem with water. The monsoons were very strong, and then there were droughts. And I was in South India in the Tibetan community, and the farmers are struggling with water. And were these methods I'm a little familiar with the kind of farming you're talking about, but are these methods appropriate for dealing with warming and water problems, or do you have any strategies for dealing with those kind of
water
issues?
So basically, when you use pesticides and all, the water use, like you use double water in with pesticides and all, then it increases the need of water. But now we come up with the ponds, like we try to create a small pond in every field, and then you can harvest the water, and then you can recharge the land water as well. So it is like the situation is getting better with time. Like in last 2 months after lockdown, I think 3-4 months, we digged 20,000 of ponds around this
region.
Around this region, and the guy who is like working with one of us, like he's
And this is not a crisis of water, it's a crisis of management. If your management is good, so water problem is not. Okay.
Very good.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for a great question. We have a couple more coming in the chat box. So the first one I want to get to is Becca is asking what could be done to stop the spraying of the mango trees. So it sounds like mango trees get sprayed with a lot of pesticides potentially. What are some of the methods that you witnessed in your mango orchards to prevent the need of spraying such chemicals?
अच्छा,
आमों में क्या स्प्रे करने से कैसे
Oh,
रोके उनको
so,
बड़ा बनाने के लिए
so,
क्या चीजों की
it's a mango orchard, yeah, or other adults. So when उसको क्या कहते हैं बौर को?
इसको
बौर जब आती है, when flowering time, when trees flowering time, so you have honey, you know honey. So honey with water and spray all flowering of all plants.
Mm.
So after honey spray, so many bees are coming and pollination is better. So your fruits quality is better, your fruit quantity is better, and your all plants is better. And some spray of some spray of calcium. Some spray of calcium when plant
waste of chicken
yeah when plant fruit comes, so you spray some calcium. And waste of chicken beets, waste of chicken beets, you adding plants roots and more composting plants roots around 2 feet, so your orchard is better. And no no plant
plugging
no plugging in orchard soil, so your plant is better, your food, your fruits quality is better, your fruit quantity is better.
Yes, I love that. Yeah, increase the health of the plant. It naturally becomes more resistant to a lot of the pests it face, as well as increasing that biodiversity. So thank you. We have another question relating to
Yes.
policy and the government. Do you feel that the government supports these farming methods, or do you not feel this way?
government support कर रही है
No government support, but in India, in this opposite time of farming, the government policy is not better for farming. It's opposite policies of governments, not support of farming. So it's personal efforts.
Yes, I think when I was visiting on the farm, I heard there were subsidies that did exist in India, but they focused on industrial agriculture and monocultures, and kind of a similar system to here in the United States. A lot of the subsidies are designed for these
it's
bigger
like
production farms.
yeah, they are like choosing the same way of like what America already introduced, making more privatization like in this field as well. They just introduced 3 bills in
Now
like after in America, like countries, they have big subsidies, but here it's like they can't give those big subsidies to farmers, and it's after few years, I think it's gonna be like worse situation when only industrialists have all these farms and they will control like all the seeds and the market.
Yes, yeah. And that goes into the whole issue of seed patents, and yeah, that can go into a whole rabbit hole for sure. But I want to get to one more question we saw, and it was related to fertilizers. And the question is, are you able to produce your own fertilizer on site, or do you have to buy it? Are you having to add fertilizers from outside the farm, or are you able to produce it on the farm?
खुद का fertilizer होता है बाहर से
organic fertilizer.
organic पर हमें बाहर से organic fertilizer लाना पड़ता है. No, like I already described that you should take care of like amount of your animals so you can get enough manure for your fields, and you have to design it in that way, and that is the only way you can.
And we have many recipes, and we have many natural recipes of nutrition. When plant demands nutrients, so we give excels. I have many natural recipes.
Like there are different methods where you can create your own nutrients and manures. Like for calcium, you can use eggshells, and chicken waste is really good for phosphorus, and also it's like depends on your designing and how you design your farm.
The sufficiency of
Management.
fertilizers and pest management.
Sure. I gave a presentation Thursday night, and I actually used a video I took of you, Jeet, when you were applying cow urine with neem leaves to the plants to act as both a fertilizer and pesticide. So
Here many
yes.
cows, dust parni arc and 4 parni arc in cow urine, some plant, some leaves of plants, some leaves of plants, many plants, cow urine and jaggery and many type
Manage the
and manage the pest, natural and and pests. So many pest controller we create creators.
Excellent. Well, we're at 7:30 a.m. our time, which I know is a bit different your time, 12.5 hour difference. But we just want to say thank you so much, Jeet, for taking the time in your schedule to zoom in. It's an honor to have participants from literally across the world in India right now. And it was just so great to hear from you. And I think we're all very thankful to have had the chance to hear your story and what you're up to and the great things you're working on. So thank you.
Thank you.
Dhanyavad. Okay.
And sorry, this is my first time. I was nervous. This is my first experience of this type.
And you did great. So I look forward to many more for you in the future.
Thank
There
you,
are
Jeet.
some questions in the chat that if at some point Jeet and his brother there can
Yes.
join Slack, maybe they can be moved over to there.
Great. Yeah, we got some requests for some of your natural recipes and things like
Yeah.
this. So
Thank you.
we can continue
Okay.
doing a little Q&A. If anyone does have any last minute questions they really want to find out about, we can ask a couple more. But other than that, I think we're going to start wrapping up and transitioning to the next part of the convergence. So does anyone have any lingering questions that they really want to get out?
No.
And what will you be up to in the next little bit of time, Jeet? The projects you're currently working on and what's going on in your life right now as we say goodbye to know where you're heading and what you're up to.
Now my plan again. I'm come back my village last some times and become a farmer and work with continue with this work. Just like trainings and training programs. We will work with some trial of universities. We introduce our syllabus, natural farming and Awartansheel Farming. We introduce many trying. So and all farmers are making a chain, natural methods of farmer. So it's a very big opportunity of this time. In this time, it's a very big opportunity, and we make a chain of farmers in India and all countries. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeet. Thank you so much. We appreciate the hard work you're doing there, spreading regenerative farming, something I think we all are attempting to be a part of worldwide. So we can see the movement is growing and we all are putting in that intention. So once again, thank you, Jeet.
Thank you.
And thank you, your friend, as well. Thank you for helping. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you so much.
Okay, and Jeet, feel free to tune in. For the rest of the convergence, you have access. So at any point, you can watch videos of other presenters. And whenever you want, you have the ability to zoom in. So it's up to you, whatever you want to do, but thank you. Okay.
All right, we're going to transition onto breakfast in the spirit of getting ready for the next presentations, which is Hajmukh. And David, you can go ahead and talk about that a little bit. At the same time, I'm actually going to do some